You're watching Primetime News. The spate of recent tremors has dispelled the long-held belief that Sri Lanka is immune from one of nature's most destructive phenomena, earthquakes. With this realization, the Ministry of Disaster Management is to conduct a workshop tomorrow on disaster preparedness. Persons involved in the field of disaster management are expected to participate at the workshop.
Following the recent earthquake of the Indonesian island of Sumatra, we have constantly pointed out that Sri Lanka too needs to be prepared to face earthquakes. Citing examples from various nations, we noted that careful attention must be paid in the construction of buildings. We have also been focusing on the need to maintain a high level of disaster preparedness in the event of an earthquake.
Everyone in the country is in some sort of anxiety following two recent earthquakes. This is why our ministry has decided to hold broad discussions and a one-day workshop on the subject. The workshop, incorporating broad-based discussions on factors including the occurrence of earthquakes, how to react to an earthquake and how to react in a tsunami situation, will be held throughout the day. We hope to initiate an action plan following this.
The Met Department says that showers could be expected in the southern parts of the island. The department also noted that strong winds will be experienced in several coastal areas.
The Met Department stated that winds from the southwesterly direction will travel across the island at a speed of 30 to 40 kilometers per hour.
Winds of up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour can be experienced in the southwestern, eastern as well as in the northern areas. The fisher community should know that the Bay of Mannar, southeastern and coastal areas in Hambantota will experience wind speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour.
On to some sports news from here at home. In 10 days' time, the 15th Asian Junior Athletic Championship will commence in Colombo. However, the Sri Lankan team, which will take part in the championship, has not yet received the approval of the Minister of Sports.
The first selection trials for the 15th Asian Junior Athletic Championship was held in March this year. Thereafter, athletes who showed exceptional skills during the recently concluded National Junior Athletic Meet were also included in the Sri Lanka squad. A release issued by the Secretary of the Athletics Association, Shamal Fernando, on the 17th of May also included a list of athletes who would represent Sri Lanka at the championship. The release noted that the Ministry of Sports had granted approval for this list as well.
We have given guidelines to the selection committee, that is to try and include the highest number of athletes to the team, because we are the hosts of these games. So based on that, they have compiled their report and submitted to the Honourable Minister, and the approval is awaited. We intend appointing a board amongst the officials in the EXCO to carry out an in-depth study and determine the main officials for the championship, please.
You're watching News First. Up next is Action TV.
The North Central Province Civil Appeals High Court today ordered the Secretary to the Chief Minister of the North Central Province, President and Secretary of the organisation by the name Apegama Development Foundation, and the Principal of the Swarnapali Balika Mahavidyalaya in Anuradhapura to be present before courts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. This is after considering a petition filed by the Secretary of the School Development Committee of the Swarnapali Balika Mahavidyalaya. The petition requesting a writ of certiorari to be issued was filed since the Secretary to the Chief Minister of the North Central Province had provided the grounds of the Swarnapali Balika Vidyalaya to the Apegama Development Foundation to stage a Poson festival. The petition says that the Secretary to the Chief Minister of the province had taken this decision when a decision had been taken by the School Development Committee to call for tenders with the minimum bid set at 500,000 rupees to provide the ground for a Poson festival. The petitioner said that the Secretary to the Chief Minister had no right to take decisions with regard to grounds of a national school. His attorney informed court that according to Circular number 35 of 2008, issued by the Education Ministry Secretary, the School Development Committee has the right to provide its grounds for festive occasions on the guarantee that no harm would be caused to the premises. The petition also says that the Secretary to the Chief Minister, who is an official tasked with ensuring the relevant circular is respected, has himself violated the circular. Accordingly, the petitioner has requested the decision of the Secretary to the Chief Minister be quashed. The petition also includes a request for an interim injunction preventing the President, Secretary or employees of the Apegama Foundation from entering the school grounds. The petition goes on to say this particular organization has organized Hoson festivals at this ground during the past years as well, and although they had earned a large revenue through the festival, they had not made any payment to the School Development Committee for the damage caused to the school grounds. Court ordered the 4 respondents to be notified via telephone, fax and express mail, informing them to be present in court tomorrow to provide explanations to prevent the interim order requested by the petitioner from being issued. The case was taken up for hearing before Justices Nishanka Bandula Karnaratna and Sarath Gamini Edirisinghe.
On to some business news now. Market analysts say that the Colombo Stock Exchange is currently undergoing a correction due to shares being highly overvalued over the past 2 years. They point out that shares became highly overvalued due to a rise in investor confidence in Sri Lanka and also due to factors such as insider trading and the manipulation of certain stock prices.
The main indices of the Colombo Stock Exchange, which had been showing continuous losses in the recent past, closed on a mixed note today. At the close of trading, the all-share price index gained 51.86 points, up by 1%, while the more liquid Milanka index registered negative movement. Small-scale investors expressed their views on the current situation in the market. Share value is decreasing on a daily basis. The general public are losing trust in the share market, and this could adversely affect the economy. If they question the people in the stock exchange and find solutions to these problems, the problem can be fixed instantly. If the government shows more enthusiasm in acting on this matter, it will be a great boon to the general public.
Well, markets have cycles. You have very good cycles, bad cycles. Typically, when markets become good performing markets, quite often they jump above any kind of fundamental valuations and go into bubble state. That's what happened to Sri Lanka, where most of the stocks reached valuations and prices that could not be sustained from any rational investment theory. And then, of course, it had to correct. There were many different triggers for the correction the market had, including rising interest rates, fears about the global economic situation, uncertainty on the exchange rate. So those were all triggers in terms of the market, but even if those hadn't happened, the kind of valuations we had 2 years ago could not have been sustained. I mean, all these regulatory issues like insider trading, all that was possibly a cause why the market got overvalued. More than insider trading, I think the situation was manipulation of some stocks to excessive levels, which would have pushed up the valuations even more than the euphoria that was pushing the market up. So that may have been one of the causes, but these things happen. In a broad way, the role of the Securities and Exchange Commission is to make sure that there is a fair marketplace, where some investors do not act in an unethical way and make things unfair for other investors, where companies disclose information properly. So I think regulation and what they are doing is broadly the correct things that they are doing.
කොටස් වෙළඳපොළ එක් අතකට ගමන් කරද්දී ආර්ථිකය තවත් අතකට ගමන් කරන්නට කිසිම හේතුවක් නැහැ. එම අංශ දෙකම එක පැත්තකට.
There is no cause for the economy to move in one direction when the stock exchange is moving in another. Both move in the same direction. To a certain extent, the stock exchange is a reflection of the entire economy. Due to undue influences, however, the stock market could behave contrary to the economy. On one hand, it shows the weaknesses in the economy. Through the stock exchange, investor confidence in Sri Lanka is determined to a certain extent.
ආර්ථිකයේ තියෙන එක අතකින් ආර්ථිකයේ පවතින දුර්වලතාවය. ඉතින් කොටස් වෙළඳපොළ තුලින් එක්තරා දුරකට හෝ අපේ රටේ ආර්ථිකය පිළිබඳව ආයෝජකයන්ගේ පවතින විශ්වාසය පිළිඹු වෙනවා.
Getting back to some sports news now, Pakistan's tour of Sri Lanka will officially commence on Friday with the first T20 match of the series being played in Hambantota. This is incidentally the first T20 match that will be played at the Suryavava Mahinda Rajapaksa Stadium.
The Pakistani cricket team engaged in a practice session this morning at the Suryavava Mahinda Rajapaksa Stadium. Sri Lanka and Pakistan have played 7 T20 internationals against each other. Pakistan has a psychological advantage heading into the T20 series as they have won 5 of the 7 encounters, while Sri Lanka has won only 2. Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan cricket team also engaged in a practice session in Hambantota this afternoon. Following the conclusion of the 2020 series, Sri Lanka will take on Pakistan in a 5-match ODI series as well as a 3-match Test series.
Let's now take a look at more business news.
Meanwhile, a dialogue on insider trading took place in Colombo today. They are using the money from our Provident Fund and our savings bank. When the people entrusted the government with the money painstakingly saved by them, they used that money to manipulate stocks. At least today, the government must take responsibility for this. One of the most dangerous things that has taken place here is that the funds which have gone towards increasing the incomes of all people went into the hands of some brokers. If individuals want to make money, then they should do it the right way. These individuals are trying to make money and keep their respect as well. Why does the central bank not take action against these persons? I must state that the central bank must be held responsible for this. If the law is enforced, trust will grow, and when trust is built, not only Sri Lankan investors, but foreign investors too will come.
And that wraps up Prime Time News for tonight. I'm Sonali Vanigabatake.
And I'm Shane Silva. Good night.